Hello everyone. You may be wondering why I haven't uploaded a single video in a fuck-ton while, and allow me to explain. I've been dealing with life and school stuff in general, but after I realized that I have a YouTube channel, I decided to post a video. But not just any other video, you see. A special kind of video. An iceberg chart video. But you may be asking yourself, what kind of iceberg chart video are you going to do? Surely you're going to do the long-awaited Lost Media iceberg chart? Nope! This time I'm doing something special. One that has been sitting in the back of my mind for a fuck-ton while. That, my friends, is Assassination Classroom. Which I have no clue what happened to the fandom. It's gone. It's just generally gone. But if you are a fandom to the Assassination Classroom, then feel free to alert your presence in the comments. Anyways, Assassination Classroom, a great anime for newly anime watchers to enjoy. But just like any other communities / fandoms, they always hide a deep, dark secret, waiting to be revealed. Well, I came here to reveal all of the deep, dark secrets of this small fandom with the Assassination Classroom Iceberg. But you may be asking yourself, where does this iceberg chart come from? Simple. Both on Reddit and Tumblr. You could find the original iceberg chart on Reddit and Tumblr, including the remastered version on both Reddit and Tumblr. They're both in the description down below. Now, if you're new to this video and if you don't know what an iceberg chart goes, it basically works like this. At the top of the iceberg, facts are well known. They are well understood. They are well understood, and many people know about the facts. But the deeper we go into the iceberg chart, the obscure and disturbing the topics become, making it harder to research. And if you would please be so kind as to give this video a like and subscribe, because I have to do a shit ton of research just to make this video possible. So I won't delay this video any longer. Grab a snack, or a drink, or both. Make sure you're comfortable, and make sure you watch it at night, or day, I don't give a fuck. Because today, we'll be going over the Assassination Classroom Iceberg. Now, for the tip layer of the iceberg known as the skies, I won't overly explain some of these topics on the iceberg. Nagisa's gender. Now, when people first watch Assassination Classroom, many people got confused as to which gender specifically Nagisa is. Are they a male or a female? Well, according to the official anime and the manga books, Nagisa is confirmed to be a male. Soyen Jump. Soyen Jump is a weekly Japanese anthology manga series that was made in 1968 by Shushi Shaw, which targets around young teenagers, specifically males. And, fun fact, most of the anime comes from Shoujin Jump. Yes, including Dragon Ball Z and Assassination Classroom, including some of your favorite other anime shows. Yoshimatsu. Now, I probably butchered his name, but I'm not doing it again. Anyways, this one is self-explanatory. Yoshimatsu is the original creator of Assassination Classroom, including many other series like Bo 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 Bo. Manga-only villains. This topic is referring to the fact that there are characters that are inside of the manga series of Assassination Classroom that never made it fully to the anime. These characters include as following. Craig Hoji, who only appeared in chapter 160 of the manga series of Assassination Classroom, Hirokazu, who only appeared in chapter 82 of the manga series in Assassination Classroom, and Reiwan, who only appears in the special kind of manga series of Assassination Classroom. But we will get to that later down in further entries. Korosuu. Korosuu is a lot like Assassination Classroom, the official anime, but with an exception. It's an RPG-style anime series, and it's actually a spin-off to Assassination Classroom. Albeit it does have a few lesser episodes, unlike the official anime for Assassination Classroom. 365 Days. 365 Days is mainly a recap to Assassination Classroom of Nagisa and Karma, now in their adult times, reminiscing of Class 3E and their times with Koro-sensei. Its ratings is 5.5, so a little over and a half. Toonami release. Toonami release refers to the fact that Assassination Classroom was aired on Toonami on Adult Swim Saturday as part of a nighttime lineup. It was first aired on August 29th, 2020, first airing its first season from February 2020 to August 2020, and then to February of 2021, with the English dub made by Funimations. The Season 2 to Assassination Classroom was aired on January 8th, 2022. The Ramen Gun Meme. The Ramen Gun Meme made its first appearance in Assassination Classroom in the Okinawa Trip saga when all of the students are affected and the rest of the unaffected students has to infiltrate a hotel at the top of the mountain. In one of the episodes, it shows Gustavo making a soup or ramen of some sorts, before shoving a pistol towards it. The point of the meme is to explain as to how Japanese people made ramen and how American people made the ramen, or some people pointed out that the ramen gun meme is how American people initially made ramen, and it's supposed to tease the American people that they shove a gun into their ramen. Or it's either for other purposes. Either way, that is the only explanation that I know about the ramen gun meme. The Nagisa's gender controversy. So, remember when I said that Nagisa is officially a male? Well, it turns out he's actually a cis male, so that's a correction. I apologize for the mistake. Anyways, back to the topic. Now for this one, I really have to do some more decent research on this topic. So bear with me if I get something's wrong. But if you wish to correct me in the comments, then go ahead and do so. You are free to do that, but don't be rude, okay? Anyways, the Nagisa's gender controversy revolves around the fact that there are people out there misgenderizing Nagisa, with some people drawing him as a female or labeling Nagisa as a trap or a female. There were rumors that speculated that Yusi Matsu originally designed Nagisa to be a female, but the staff changed Nagisa to be a cis male. This also comes from Nagisa's mother, who forced Nagisa to be feminine because, according to the lore, Nagisa's mother wanted a girl so bad. But since Nagisa is a male, Nagisa's mother got really upset about that and wanted to change Nagisa into a female. This comment on Reddit explains the controversy pretty well, so feel free to pause the video and read it for yourself. Asano's mother. Now, in the entire series of the manga and the anime, we were never ever been able to see who Asano's mother was. If you don't know what Asano is one of the members of the Big Five in Class A of Kunikigaoka Junior High School. Now, we don't exactly see Asano's mother because, frankly, we never entirely know who Asano's mother looks like. But this comment on Reddit is very interesting to me, so feel free to pause the video and read it. Kunadon. This one is self-explanatory. Kunadon is the Kunikigaoka Junior High School's official mascot, who is shown to have a distinct hatred towards Class 3E, which is understandable because every classes in Kunikigaoka Junior High School is designed to revolve around to hate Class 3E, especially Class 3A. However, later down in the series of episodes and seasons, Kunadon has been somehow transferred over to Class 3E by Asano, which of course Kunadon tries to objectify, but that didn't work. To which Kunadon Nana has taken a different approach in Class 3E. I won't spoil to what Kunadon looks like, but you could go and watch the anime for yourself to see what Kunadon looks like now. Pop culture references. Just like video games and other anime series, Assassination Classroom is no different to when it comes to pop culture references that is referenced in many of its many episodes. These references include Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Bo 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 Bo. However, there are many more pop culture references in Assassination Classroom, but I won't be going over them today. Sonic Ninja. Now for this one, I couldn't find any specific information relating to Sonic Ninja, so bear with me if I get a few things wrong here in this topic. Anyways, according to Nagisa in the official anime for Assassination Classroom, Sonic Ninja appears to be a movie where the protagonist of the movie is fighting along a demon, including a female, but the demon is not who they seem. The demon is actually the brother of the female protagonist. Now, that's all the information I have specifically to Sonic Ninja. So if you have any more information regarding to Sonic Ninja, feel free to leave it down in the comments, and I might make a director's cut. Live action movies. Just like many other video games and animes or other shows, Assassination Classroom is no different when it comes to movies. There's actually 2 different movies of Assassination Classroom. The first live-action movie of Assassination Classroom was a movie which, ironically, is simply named Assassination Classroom, was made on March 21st, 2015, which mainly focused around the introduction to Class 3E and their octopus teacher named Korosuu. The second movie, named Assassination Classroom Graduation, was made on March 25th, 2016, which is a sequel to the first live-action movie of Assassination Classroom, and ironically, was the ending to the live-action movie. Also, seeing the CGI version of Korosuu is just weird to me, ugh. Korotan is a 4-volume book series, which is an educational, light and comedy-themed books centered around Assassination Classroom, with some light novels being added. However, interestingly, book through A, volume through 1 and 3 are aka A to C, are considered to be non-canon, while volume 4, aka book D, is to be officially canon by Yusi Matsu. Karma Discourse. Karma Discourse is an often topic debate revolving around the Assassination Classroom fandom. However, the topic debate about Karma is his personality and growth over the anime of Assassination Classroom. However, key topics about the Karma Discourse debate is about Karma's sudden change to becoming a lazy prodigy to now being a leader with sadistic tendencies with his rivalry/friendship to Nagisa Shiota. 7 Years Later manga. The 7 Years Later manga refers to volume 21 of the Assassination Classroom, after the students successfully assassinated Korosuu. All of the students returned to Class 3E after their graduation. However, most of the students end up taking career paths. These students are listed as follows. Nagisa, who later became a teacher in training from a different high school. Kayano, who later took the name Haharuan Masi, and later became an acting professional, including with her parkour skills. And Karma, who later became a high-ranking bureaucrat in both the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. 3DS games. Now, when it comes to video games, Assassination Classroom is no different for video games. There were actually 2 different types of video games that were released on the Nintendo 3DS. The first one being Grand Siege on Korosuu, which was released on March 12, 2015. The game follows you creating your own character and cooperating with Class 3E students to set up traps and attack Korosuu. The second one being Assassination Project, which was released on March 24, 2016. It is a sequel to the first game, however it focuses around training students to become stronger assassins to attack Korosuu. Mobile games. Just like with 3DS games, Assassination Classroom also comes with mobile games. One game is particularly to be lost media, with one person on Tumblr stating that the game is similar to like Pokemon as those gacha games, where you collect cards of students from Assassination Classroom, including other characters that are in Assassination Classroom. However, one particularly stood out. The Viking Code actually got a sponsorship to Assassination Classroom to promote the French release version, the manga series of Assassination Classroom. The game is a whack-a-mole style game. That's all there is to it, and yeah, basically the mobile game is considered lost media. Well, practically lost media. Assassination Classroom OVA. Just like with many anime having their OVAs, Assassination Classroom is no different when it comes to OVAs. The first OVA of Assassination Classroom was released on the Jump Super Anime Tour in 2013 on October 6, 2013. The DVD version, however, was released until December 27, 2013. This OVA of Assassination Classroom mainly focuses on the Class 3E having their trip to Kyoto, which later became true in the official anime version for Assassination Classroom. Korosuu. Korosuu is a lot like the Korotan books that I discussed earlier in this iceberg. However, Korosuu actually focuses on teaching math. However, Korosuu has the two invisible short snipers-focused story. Now, officially, there is no official English translation for Korosuu. However, one person on Tumblr took it upon himself to translate the first chapter of Korosuu. If you wanted to find the English translation to the first chapter of Korosuu, I'll link it in the description down below. Koro-sensei's nationality. Now, during the entirety of the manga series and the anime adaptation for Assassination Classroom, Koro-sensei's nationality is never revealed. However, Koro-sensei did state that he was once specifically born in a war-torn slums of a third-world country before his mutilation. However, Koro-sensei's nationality is never revealed, and we don't specifically know which country was in a third world war. That includes the slums. Hachiouji. Now, I probably butchered that name, but I'm not gonna say it again. Anyways, Hachiouji is a real-life place in Japan that is based off of Kunikigaoka. Well, Kunikigaoka is actually based off of Hachiouji. Anyways, some of the shots that are in Assassination Classroom actually comes from real-life places from Hachiouji. This person on Tumblr briefly goes on his field trip to Hachiouji. If you want to discover it for yourself, I'll link it in the description for you guys to read it out. It's actually kind of interesting. Everyone owns the mountain. In chapter 179, all of the students of Class 3E bought the mountain and the property for a portion of their $30 billion yen. The reason as to why they did it is to make sure that they keep the bonds between them, and when they have Koro-sensei, including turning Class 3E into a memorial place for they once had Koro-sensei at the time. Half Middle 2. Half Middle 2 was a code name that was given to Karma. The reason as to why Karma is named Half Middle 2 is currently unknown. The Shed. The Shed refers to Season 1, Episode 4 of Assassination Classroom, where Eren Yelovich lures Koro-sensei into the shed and attempts to kill Koro-sensei by using silver bullets. However, Eren Yelovich realized that silver bullets don't work on Koro-sensei, and after Koro-sensei realized that his preferred method is grooming, many moans and unknown sounds that came from Eren Yelovich. Of course, the students were confused and run over to the shed, only to find that Koro-sensei is alive and well, until Miss Yelovich was put into a generic sports uniform. She said that many things about Koro-sensei grooming techniques, including the weird thing that he did with the tentacles. When Nagisa questioned about what Eren Yelovich meant to Koro-sensei, Koro-sensei looked at them awkward and did not give them a detailed description. Many people still do not know what the shed is referring to, but I think the shed is referring to how people think that the shed is a metaphor for how it traps people into thinking that Eren Yelovich is having a but no, Eren Yelovich is actually moaning in pleasure from the grooming that Koro-sensei is giving to her. Takayada and Tanaka. Takayada and Tanaka are two students in Kunikugaku Junior High School that appears in both the manga and anime series, specifically bullying and teasing Nagisa. Nobody knows why as to why these two specific students bully and tease Nagisa, but only time will tell. Yada is LGBTQIA. I don't know what to say for this one. Yada is officially a bisexual female and is part of the LGBTQ plus community. Good job on you, Yada. I'm proud of you for that. Timeline. Just like many other games and other anime shows, Assassination Classroom has no different when it comes to timelines. However, the timeline that is set for Assassination Classroom is a bit off, with some people claiming that Assassination Classroom is set around in 2014, or in 2010, but sources are a little mixed up so personally, in my opinion, I think that Assassination Classroom sets place in 2010. Bonus songs. During the 10th anniversary for Assassination Classroom, new bonus songs will come, including with other opening and ending variations to already existing songs. These songs are listed as following: Nira Nira Rap, Koro-sensei Gymnastics, 3 Nini, Igumi, Nira Nira Ondu, and various character rap battles. Bitch Sensei and Kurasuma's Daughter. In the manga series, specifically the Graduation album, it is shown in canon that Eren Yelovich, or Bitch Sensei, and Kurasuma both successfully got married and have a daughter. It is unknown as to what the daughter's name is, but only time will tell. Kayano's dad is evil. Now, take everything that I say with a grain of salt, because I have no clue about what this topic is talking about. But I do have some sense as to what it's talking about. In both the manga books and in the anime adaptation, we have never seen Kayano's parents. We only seen Kayano's mother. However, Kayano's dad has never been shown in any of both in the manga series and in the anime. However, some theories speculate that Kayano's dad is secretly evil, to which I'm not even 100% certain if that's real or not. But like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I have no clue what this topic is talking about. Fuwa Meta. Same thing with the last topic, I don't exactly know what Fuwa Meta is referring to, but I think Fuwa Meta is referring to how Fuwa, one of the characters and students of Assassination Classroom, is obviously aware that she is inside of an episode, like she is aware that she's in an anime or in a manga series, and constantly breaks the fourth wall. But like I said during the last topic, I have no clue as to what Fuwa Meta actually is. Alright, ladies and gents, we have arrived to the last layer of the iceberg. Let's get a move on, shall we? Surigeti. Surigeti is a background character that is mainly found in Assassination Classroom in both the manga books and the anime adaptation. He first appeared in a Tumblr post for miscellaneous names, and Surigeti was one of them. Kurosuma's dead sister. In Kurosuma's character profile, it is noted that Korosuu has a dead sister. However, we don't actually see this dead sister in both the manga books and in the anime adaptation. However, according to the Assassination Classroom wiki, the Kurosuma's dead sister has no relevance to the plot whatsoever of plot in the manga books and the anime adaptation for Assassination Classroom. Commodore Matthew Perry. Commodore Matthew Perry was a real U.S. naval officer who is infamous for riding the black ships in 1853 and essentially arriving to Japan to end its 200 isolationist policies. In Assassination Classroom, they utilized Commodore Matthew Perry for his well-known / menacing appearance and his reputation to the Japanese history, or they used him as a metaphor for disruption. Kayano is pregnant. In Assassination Classroom last episode, Kayano, now an adult, talks about life and hopes that she could raise one of her own, which led people confused into thinking that Kayano is pregnant. However, it's nothing more than a fan theory, and it's not canon to the official manga books or in Assassination Classroom, as both Kayano and Nagisa are too focused on career paths. However, many people around Wattpad and fanfiction.net have speculated the idea of Kayano and Nagisa being pregnant together, having a baby together, but it is unknown if both Kayano and Nagisa are dating together, and thus Kayano being pregnant is just a fan theory and nothing else. And there you have it. That is the full Assassination Classroom iceberg. Now there may be topics that I've gotten wrong or I'm completely wrong in some of the topics. So if I did get something wrong in some of these topics, please feel free to leave it down in the comments, and I might even make a full director's cut. But anyways, please like and subscribe, because I have to do a shit ton of research just to make this video possible, again, like I said in the intro. And if this video does well, then I might do you guys a favor. I will finally cover the long-awaited Lost Media iceberg chart that has been sitting in the back of my head for nearly a decade. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!